Well, Reform have just announced their new campaign policy called LORE, L-O-R-E. Lincolnshire opposes renewable eyesores. It's designed to oppose, according to Richard Tice, the devastation caused by net stupid zero.
You know you're in clown world when an ITV interviewer is having to repeat Tice's net zero tagline of net stupid zero. Now, though, you're going to have to endure Andrea Stupid Jenkyns and Richard Stupid Tice as they talk absolute bollocks about energy, cables, pylons and the environment.
Also here we have Dame Andrea Jenkyns, the Mayor of Greater Lincolnshire. Does this mean that basically Reform are climate change deniers?
Well, I'm certainly a net zero denier. I think it's devastating our industry of Britain, and I'm very pro-business, pro-growth, and I think net zero's hampered that, actually.
How? It's a well-established fact that fluctuations of energy prices are due to the volatility of the fossil fuel marketplace and the instability caused by global events. And what about the fact that the net zero sector is growing 3 times faster than the overall UK economy, and it accounts for almost 1 million jobs and contributes £83 billion in GVA. That's the value of goods and services produced. Anyway, here's Tice being an absolute moron.
And that's the key point, is that the idea that you can stop climate change is arrogant nonsense. You can't stop the power of the sun. You can't stop the power of volcanoes. What you can do is be smart about things and adapt to it. And that's what we're saying. Let's adapt to climate change. That would be a much smarter way to proceed than this current net stupid zero, which is destroying jobs.
Again, how? Anyway, listen now as we get Tice and Jenkyns saying instead of pylons, they want to run cables under the ground. I'll get to why that's stupid in a second.
It's destroying growth.
If we get back to the issue of renewable energy, though, the Renewable Energy Department for Energy Security say that solar and upgraded grids are central to the mission to become a clean energy superpower, delivering energy security so we can get bills down for good. The scheme for the pylons is all part of that. It's the cheapest option to get that electricity to where it's needed. Why oppose it?
Well, as it was quite rightly said in there, it bypasses Lincolnshire, most of it, and goes to the south. But besides that, as Richard set out a few months ago with the press conference, we go underground with rather than have these pylons.
But that's going to be hugely expensive, about £5.5 billion more expensive than the pylons.
I met National Grid just yesterday, so I'm pushing them. I'm saying, actually, you need to put it all underground. We need to have a debate about putting the cables down the wash. What's more important, the Lincolnshire countryside or a few birds in the wash?
Yeah, it's about 5 to 10 times more expensive to put cables under the ground. And then they're more difficult and costly to repair because you have to dig it up. How stupid is this guy?
So you can't have the environment argument working both ways, can you? You can't complain about HS2 and bats.
What's more important? Is it birds and bats, or is it the people and our countryside in Lincolnshire? And I tell you what, if we have that debate with everybody, and we need to have that debate, I know what the answer will be.
But you're talking about the countryside. That's an environmental debate.
Exactly, and that's why you've got to have this debate. And if you ask people, they don't want...
Do you want pylons?
They don't want tens of thousands of acres covered by solar farms.
And yet Reform are pushing for fracking, which has some potential impacts on the environment, including water contamination, air pollution, and the potential to trigger earthquakes.
Don't want the countryside ruined by pylons.
But what are the options? Do you want a nuclear power plant built here instead?
Look, the options are it's going underground. I mean, for example, with the pylons, if you look at the stats, I understand they lose 20% of electricity.
That's bullshit. It's about 5% to 8%, and that applies to underground cables too.
Than they would if it was going underground. So it's not the best way anyway. So I fully support the Reform policy which Richard announced a few months ago.
So the key point is that the National Grid, they're having to carry out the orders of Miliband, and we just think that this is the wrong way to do it. We think there's a different way to do it, a smarter way to do it, which gets the best of all worlds.
What a joke these two are. And they talk about saving money. It will cost billions more if they get their way.
And that's why you've got to have a debate.
Okay, Richard Tice, Dame Andrea Jenkyns,
Thank you very
much
Thank
for
you.
talking to us. So it's an argument that is bound to rage on. Reform have nailed their colours firmly to the mast as to where they stand on the issue of what they refer to as renewable eyesores. It's a debate that's going to go on well into the future.
Click here for a bunch of rotten, dumb and bigoted Reform councillors who haven't got a clue how to run a council.